Pi2Day is back, June 28th, and if you've been around this space for a while, you already know the pattern by now. Expectations climb a lot faster than anything the core team has actually confirmed. So instead of just running through the hype this time, I want to walk through what's actually grounded in something real, what's pure speculation, and what history tells us to expect once the day actually arrives. Quick refresher for anyone new or here. Pi2Day falls on June 28th because of the date itself, 628, representing 2 pi. The core team has used this date for years now as a moment to recap progress and sometimes to announce something bigger. It's worth looking back at last year before getting into this year's expectations. Heading into Pi2Day 2025, the community was anticipating things like KYC sync progress, mainnet migration updates, and hints at generative AI integration. Some of that did show up in the core team's recap, but the bigger swings people were hoping for, a major exchange listing, a dramatic price move, didn't really materialize. That pattern is worth keeping in mind this time around too. So let's start with what's actually confirmed heading into 2026, not rumored. Protocol 24.1 rolled out successfully back in early June. Node operators are now working through the move to Protocol 25.1 with a mandatory deadline landing right around June 18th. Miss it, and a node gets disconnected from the network. Protocol 26 is scheduled for June 22nd, just days before Pi2Day itself. For anyone newer to this, these aren't just cosmetic version bumps. The core team has tied this whole 24 through 26 sequence directly to laying groundwork for eventual smart contract support. Let's actually dig into the Launchpad piece for a second because it's more relevant to Pi2Day than it might look at first glance. Back on Pi Day, March 14th, the core team ran its first Launchpad test using a token called IRRA, and it pulled in more than 478,000 pioneers. But it also surfaced real friction. A lot of people understood staking or understood committing, but not both together, and a chunk of users dropped off before finishing the process. So for this second round, the team rebuilt the flow around a single commitment amount that the system calculates fair shares from automatically. They also added something called a fair access hold, which scales the required hold based on how much someone commits, specifically to stop larger holders from dominating the allocation. The new test token is called Slice, and unlike IRRA, it's tied to an actual working app, a Pi-powered game called Slice of Pi that uses Pi payments and the Pi ad network, so the core team gets real engagement data instead of a demo environment. None of it has monetary value, it's testnet only and never moves to mainnet, but the testing window closing right on Pi2Day means whatever lessons come out of this could shape how real ecosystem tokens launch down the line. So even without a single new announcement on the day itself, Pi2Day is landing in the middle of a genuinely busy technical stretch. Now here's where I want to be careful, because this is the part that runs away from people every single year. There's talk, and right now it really is just talk, about a possible major exchange listing landing on Pi2Day. There's also speculation about new AI-related features, ecosystem app launches, and progress updates on a Pi DEX. None of that has been confirmed by the core team. And if you go back and look at previous Pi2Days, the pattern tends to repeat. Big anticipation beforehand, a recap of real technical progress on the day, and usually not the one blockbuster announcement people were hoping for. That's not me being negative about the project, it's just pattern recognition. The core team tends to treat Pi2Day as a state of the network update, not a marketing event built around one big reveal. So probably the smartest way to go into June 28th is this. Pay close attention to what's already confirmed on the technical side, the protocol rollout and the Launchpad progress, and treat everything else as something to verify after it's actually said, not before. I'll be covering whatever actually comes out of Pi2Day right after it happens. So if that's useful to you, you know what to do. See you in the next one.